police report says the tunnel ended after 40 feet. The footage shows them walking for almost 4 hours. 4 people entered, 3 came out, and the person who vanished kept speaking on the audio long after he was gone. The file was sent without a return address. No message, no explanation. Just a water-damaged folder, a corrupted memory card, and a printed survey map of an abandoned flood control project outside the city. The map showed one straight tunnel. No branches, no lower levels, no service corridors. Just 40 feet of concrete, sealed at the end by a brick wall. But the video on the memory card showed something else. It showed a place that should have stopped, and didn't. The 4 names attached to the footage were Russ, Cherry, McCoy, and the person holding the camera. The others only call him Cal. They were not investigators. They were not journalists. They were a small urban exploration channel, chasing the kind of abandoned place footage that gets shared in forums at 3 in the morning. The flood control site had been sealed for almost a decade. According to public records, construction stopped after a structural failure during the rainy season. The project was written off, fenced over, and forgotten. But locals told a different story. They said workers went missing underground. They said survey crews refused to go back in, and they said the gate was not welded shut to keep people out. It was welded shut because something inside kept changing where the exit was. For the first part of the footage, nothing obvious happens. That is what makes it difficult to dismiss. There are no figures in the dark, no faces at the edge of the frame, no whispers asking to be noticed. Just 4 people walking through a concrete tunnel that should have ended before the camera battery even warmed up. The tunnel is straight. That matters. No turns, no ramps, no ladders, no visible service doors. Just a clean line of concrete, water stains, and old construction markings. At the 39-minute mark, Cal's flashlight lands on a jagged rust stain running down the left wall. Cherry says it looks like the tunnel is bleeding. Russ tells her not to say things like that underground. They keep walking. 10 minutes later, the same stain appears again. At first, they laugh it off. They say the walls all look the same. They say maybe there are dozens of identical stains. Then Cal points the camera at the floor. Their own footprints are in the mud, but they are not leading deeper into the tunnel. They are pointing back at them. This is where McCoy makes the mistake. He believes the loop can be broken. He says if the tunnel is forcing them back to the same point, then splitting up should prove it. If the structure is real, he will circle back. If it is not, they will hear him on the other side. Russ tells him that is the stupidest thing he has ever heard. Cherry tells him they should follow their footprints out. Cal keeps recording. McCoy shines his flashlight into a narrow service passage that none of them noticed before. The opening is not on the survey map. It is barely wide enough for one person. The ceiling is lower. The concrete is older. The darkness inside looks thicker, like the flashlight has trouble entering. McCoy turns back and says, "I'll circle around. Wait by the stain." Those are the last clear words he says on camera. He steps into the passage. His flashlight beam bounces once against the wall. Then he turns the corner, and the main tunnel goes quiet. They wait for 23 minutes. Cal checks the time on the camera twice. Cherry keeps calling McCoy's name into the side passage. Russ walks back and forth between the rust stain and the footprints, trying to decide which direction counts as back. Then McCoy answers. not from the passage, from behind them. The voice is faint but clear enough that all three of them turn at once. Cal swings the camera down the main tunnel. There is nothing there. Just concrete, shallow water, and the long line of darkness reflecting the flashlight. Cherry calls out again. McCoy answers again. This time the voice comes from farther ahead. Russ starts yelling at him to stop messing around. But when the audio is cleaned up, there's something wrong with the voice. There are two layers to it. One sounds like McCoy, scared, distant, calling for help. The other is lower, slower, almost perfectly synchronized beneath him, like something else had learned the shape of his voice and was trying to wear it. The footage cuts after the second voice. When it returns, the three of them are running. The camera shakes so badly that only fragments are visible. Cherry's hand against the wall. Russ slipping in the water. Cal breathing too close to the microphone. The rust stain passing on the left again, then again, then again. Then the tunnel opens. Not into daylight, into a room. A concrete junction room with overhead pipes, old work lights, and wall markings that do not appear on the survey map. It should not be there. According to the official drawing, the tunnel should have ended long before that point. Two men are waiting inside. Hard hats, rubber boots, faded reflective vests stiff with old mud. At first, they look like maintenance workers. But they do not ask why the three are there. They do not seem surprised. They do not ask where the fourth person went. One of them points down a corridor marked Line B and says, "Main line loops. Spillway is this way." Cal asks if they have seen McCoy. The older worker turns just enough for the flashlight to catch the side of his face. His expression is not confused, not concerned, almost patient. He says, "Your friend is not on this path." Then he starts walking. The workers lead them into a records room. Not a normal office, a room that feels copied from somewhere above ground and pasted into the wrong part of the earth. Filing cabinets, survey boards, inspection logs, a project map mounted behind cracked glass. The kind of place where a city would store proof that a structure was built correctly. Except every page says the opposite. Cal opens the first drawer. Inside are survey reports from the final month of construction. The language is dry, technical, almost boring. That makes it worse. One report says a crew walked 1.8 kilometers through Line B before reaching a sealed end wall. A second report, filed the same day, says Line B measured exactly 12.4 meters from gate to obstruction. Both reports are signed by the same inspector. Another note says a painted wall marking appeared in 3 different locations, each time beside the same rust stain. A third says 2 workers exited through an emergency door on the south spillway. The problem is that the south spillway had not been built yet. Cherry finds a maintenance log in the bottom drawer. Most of the pages are swollen from water damage, but one entry is still readable. Do not follow voices from ahead. If the tunnel repeats, stop walking. If you see daylight, confirm it is casting shadows. Russ tells Cal to stop recording. Cal does not stop. At the back of the drawer is a list of workers assigned to the final night before the project was sealed. Several are marked injured. Several are marked reassigned. 2 are marked missing. The initials match the badges worn by the men leading them out. The exit opens into daylight. That should make the footage easier to understand. It does not. Underground, the mind protects itself. Bad lighting, Panic, echoes, camera distortion. A tunnel can make distance feel wrong. Darkness can make faces look strange. But outside in the gray morning light, the camera finally catches the workers clearly. The older man turns back toward the tunnel. His face is visible for less than a second. His skin is not just pale. It has the swollen ash-gray look of something that has been underwater too long. His vest is stiff with dried silt. His ID badge is warped, but the initials are visible. The same initials from the missing worker list. Then Cherry says something that almost gets lost under the wind. Why don't they have shadows? Cal tilts the camera down. For one frame, the three survivors cast long shapes across the wet concrete threshold. The workers do not. Cal tries to speak. He never gets the chance. The iron door slams shut with enough force to shake the camera. For one frame, something pale presses against the small wired glass window. It might be a hand. It might be a face. It might be Mikoi. Then the frame cuts to black. When the survivors returned with police, the tunnel was different. Not repaired, not collapsed. Different. Behind the same gate, through the same opening, the tunnel ended after 40 feet at a brick wall. No side passage, no junction room, no records room, no emergency exit. The officers measured it 3 times. 40 feet. The memory card showed nearly 4 hours underground. The city called the footage edited. The survivors said it was not. The survey reports inside the folder were never authenticated. No public office admitted they existed. The worker names could not be verified through official records. Every document in the file was either a copy, a scan, or too water-damaged to confirm. Except the map. The map matched the police measurement, 40 feet from gate to wall. That is the part no one argues about. Search teams found no body, no backpack, no flashlight, no phone, no trace of McCoy anywhere inside the sealed section. The official report still lists him as missing. The footage ends with 12 seconds of corrupted audio. Most of it is static. But underneath the noise, analysts noted the same phrase repeating 3 times. It appears to say, "I found the exit." Then again, "I found the exit." Then once more, "I found the exit." The strange part is not the phrase. It is that each repetition gets closer to the microphone, not farther away, closer, as if whatever path he found did not lead out of the tunnel. It led back to the beginning. Some stories end when the truth comes out. This one ends where it began, with a straight tunnel, a short measurement, and too much footage. The file remains unresolved. And for more stories like this, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell for new uploads.